Sardines belong to a small group of seafood that are naturally low in mercury, which makes them one of the safest and smartest choices to eat often. Do not let their size fool you. These little fish deliver outsized benefits for the heart, brain, and bones. They come loaded with high-quality protein, omega-3 fats, calcium, and essential vitamins that your body can put to work right away. Most people, however, fall into at least 3 common traps that drain away nutrition, wreck the taste, and in some cases even create avoidable health risks. Think about your own routine for a moment. When you reach for sardines at the store, are you choosing the right type on the shelf or grabbing at random? After opening a can, are leftovers stored safely or forgotten until they spoil? Do you rinse sardines before eating because it feels cleaner, not realizing what that does to the food? And perhaps the biggest mistake of all, are you tossing out the part that carries the most nutrients? Sardines end up being underestimated, not because of what is inside the can, but because of the way people handle them. Storage errors, preparation, blunders, and cooking habits often ruin these fish before they have a chance to help your body. In this video, we will walk through the most frequent sardine mistakes people make. Some missteps seem harmless at first glance, yet once you understand the underlying science, you will see how much they matter. By the end, you will know how to choose, handle, and enjoy sardines the way they are meant to be eaten, so you get all of the flavor and all of the benefits. Before we dive in, can you do us a quick favor? Tap, like, and subscribe to join our healthy community. Type yes in the comments so we can see how many of you want more videos like this. All right, let's begin. Mistake 1, throwing away the precious oil. Of all the missteps people make with sardines, draining off the oil and sending it down the sink is the most costly. That golden liquid is not wasted. It is where a surprising amount of the flavor and nutrition reside. Here is what happens inside a sealed tin. Over time, the fish release some of their natural juices into the oil, while the oil slowly seeps back into the fillets. This gentle exchange concentrates goodness in the liquid itself. By the time you open the can, the oil carries omega-3 fatty acids, fat-soluble vitamins such as D and E, and a deep reserve of umami. In short, it is liquid nutrition. Tossing it out does more than cut calories. It discards nutrients that support the heart, brain, and immune system, and it removes a free flavor booster that any chef would be happy to cook with. Put that oil to work, drizzle it over salads in place of bottled dressing. Use it to sauté onions and garlic before tossing with pasta or rice. Stir a spoonful into soups or stews to enrich the base. Or keep it simple and dip fresh bread into the oil with a squeeze of lemon and a sprinkle of herbs for a quick appetizer. Each of these uses captures the flavor you already paid for and returns the nutrition to your meal. There is even a small bonus after opening. As the oil begins to oxidize slightly, the taste can deepen for a short window. Stored properly in the refrigerator for a few days, it adds even more complexity when you cook. Treat it like a pantry asset rather than something to discard. Sardine oil is too valuable to waste. It is dense with nutrients layered with flavor and included with every can you buy. Stop pouring it away. Start using it as the quiet secret ingredient it truly is. Mistake 2. Avoiding sardines because of fishiness. Here is a reality check. Sardines are fish and they should taste like the sea, clean, savory, and gently briny. When the flavor skews harsh or overly pungent, the culprit is rarely the sardines themselves. More often it is a storage issue, a can past its prime, or a mismatch of accompanying ingredients that fails to balance their natural richness. The goal is not to hide the taste, but to refine it. Bright acidic elements are the quickest way to bring sardines into focus. A squeeze of fresh lemon, a dash of vinegar, or a spoonful of tomato sauce cuts through heaviness and wakes up the palate. Fresh herbs, parsley, cilantro, dill offer a crisp green lift that makes each bite feel lighter and more nuanced. These additions don't cover up sardines, they elevate them. Quality also matters from the start. Tins packed in good olive oil or a well-made tomato sauce typically deliver a cleaner, less aggressive profile than bargain options or poorly handled products. Better sourcing translates directly to better flavor in the dish. There is another helpful truth: taste buds adapt. If fish is not a regular part of your diet, sardines may seem intense at first. Give your palate time, and you will start to notice the subtle sweetness, deep umami, and mineral clarity that fans love. Instead of dismissing sardines as too fishy, experiment with combinations that create balance. Toss them into a crisp salad finish with citrus pear, with crunchy vegetables, or fold into dishes where brightness and texture provide contrast. With a few smart pairings, that initial fishiness often transforms into a flavor you actively seek out. Mistake 3. Rinsing away taste and nutrition. It may sound counterintuitive, but running sardines under the tap is one of the quickest ways to ruin them. Many people rinse to cut salt fat or fishiness. In practice, you wash away flavor and send valuable nutrients straight down the drain. The liquid in the tin oil sauce or brine is not filler. It is part of the preservation system. Over time, the fish in the packing medium trade flavor and fat-soluble nutrients such as omega-3s and certain vitamins migrate into that oil or sauce. Rinsing strips away those nutrients along with the carefully developed taste. With oil-packed sardines, there's another problem. Oil and water do not mix. A rinse turns firm fillies into slippery fragments that look messy and eat worse. The same goes for tomato or mustard styles. Rinsing removes the tang and richness designed to balance sardines' natural savoriness. As for sodium, rinsing is a poor fix. Much of the salt is already diffused into the flesh during canning, not merely sitting on the surface. A better strategy is to buy low-sodium tins or simply dial back added salt elsewhere in the meal, rather than sabotaging the fish. Think of it this way. The flavor and nutrition in a can of sardines develop over months. A few seconds under the faucet undoes that work. Keep the brine oil or sauce. It is a core part of what makes great sardines great. Mistake 4. Pairing sardines with the wrong flavors. Sardines bring a big personality to the plate. Rich oils, deep umami, and a savory punch, which means they need the right company. One of the easiest ways to sabotage them is to combine that boldness with ingredients that compete rather than complement. Here is the guiding principle: contrast. Sardines shine when something bright, fresh, or acidic cuts through their richness. A squeeze of lemon, a splash of vinegar, briny capers, juicy tomatoes, or a tangle of pickled vegetables all lift and clarify the fish instead of hiding it. These sharp notes don't mute the sardine character. They focus it, making the whole bite feel more lively and balanced. Fresh herbs are another reliable ally. Parsley, dill, or cilantro add a clean green lift that lightens the overall profile. What should take a back seat: heavy cream-based sauces, butter-laden dishes, and overtly sweet pairings. Layering dairy richness on top of oily fish often tips the dish into cloying territory and overwhelms your palate. Likewise, sugary glazes or fruit-forward sweetness tend to fight the natural salinity, creating conflict instead of harmony. Consider a simple comparison. Sardines on toast with lemon and a shower of herbs taste crisp and satisfying. Swap in a thick cheese sauce and the richness doubles, turning the experience dull and heavy. Experimentation is welcome, but the balance has to favor freshness and lift. Choose supporting flavors wisely, and canned sardines transform from a pantry fallback into a restaurant-worthy ingredient, fresh, vibrant, and memorable. Mistake 5. Assuming all sardines taste the same. It is easy to believe every tin will deliver the exact same flavor, but that could not be further from the truth. Like wine cheese or coffee, sardines differ widely in taste, texture, and overall quality depending on origin, packing style, and even the season of the catch. Geography matters. Atlantic sardines are not identical to Mediterranean or Pacific fish, because water temperature, natural diet, and local environments shape their character. Cold water sardines, such as those from Norway, often have a firmer bite and a cleaner profile, while fish from warmer waters may be softer with a richer, fuller taste. Seasonality adds another layer. Spring-caught fish tend to taste lighter and leaner, whereas later season sardines are typically fattier and more intensely flavored. What they are packed in changes the experience as well. Olive oil, tomato sauce, mustard, or plain water. Each steer the flavor and mouthfeel in a different direction. Spanish and Portuguese tins packed in high-quality olive oil often develop deeper, more complex notes as they rest on the shelf. Processing practices vary too. Some producers lightly smoke their fish for a savory, aromatic depth, while others preserve them in spiced oils or sauces that add warmth and nuance. With so much variation from brand to brand and region to region, exploring sardines can be an adventure on its own. The real mistake is trying one can, disliking it, and deciding all sardines are the same. If a particular tin did not win you over, it may simply be that style. Experiment with different origins, pack mediums, and producers. Sardines are not a one-size-fits-all food, and once you start sampling, you will discover an entire world of distinct flavors tucked inside those small tins. Mistake 6. Eating only straight from the can. Sardines are about as convenient as food gets. Open the tin, and they are ready to serve. That simplicity is great, but eating them plain every time limits their flavor and makes it easy to burn out. Sardines are far more adaptable than most people realize. Treat them as an ingredient you can build on, rather than the finished dish. Turn them into a creamy spread by mashing with a little yogurt, avocado, or olive oil. Pile that onto bread or crackers for a quick protein-rich dip or snack. For toast layer on capers, thin sliced onions, or tomato, to create a Mediterranean-style bite that feels gourmet but takes only minutes. They shine in hot dishes too. Stir sardines into pasta sauce to add depth of flavor and a boost of omega-3s. If you are making a stir-fry, fold them in right at the end so they stay intact while elevating the dish with extra protein. Even pizza welcomes sardines. Their savory, salty character pairs naturally with olives, peppers, and fresh herbs. Breakfast works just as well. Fold sardines into scrambled eggs or an omelet for a nutrient-packed start to the day. Rotating these ideas keeps your meals interesting and helps you stick with sardines long-term. There is a nutrition payoff to mixing things up. Combining sardines with vegetables, whole grains, or healthy fats can improve how well your body uses their nutrients. For example, pairing them with vitamin C, rich foods such as tomatoes or bell peppers supports better iron absorption. Eating straight from the can now and then is fine, but do not stop there. A little creativity turns sardines into a versatile kitchen staple, prevents palate fatigue, and helps you get more enjoyment and more nutrition from every tin. Mistake 7. Ignoring expiration and storage rules. Skipping over expiration dates and proper storage might look trivial, but it can determine whether your sardines taste great or end up wasted. Canned food is not immortal, and treating it as if it were is a costly misconception. When the tins are sealed and stored correctly, sardines can remain good for years. But heat, light, and moisture are the sworn enemies of canned fish. Leave a stack by a sunny window next to the stove or in a damp pantry, and you accelerate the breakdown of both the container and the fish inside. As time passes, natural oils oxidize, flavors turn sharp or sour, and nutrient quality declines. Worse still, damaged cans can let bacteria take hold, making the contents unsafe. Another point many miss is that not every style of sardine keeps equally well. Varieties packed in tomato sauce or other acidic liquids generally deteriorate faster than those packed in oil. If you buy a mix, rotate wisely, use the acidic versions first, and keep the oil-packed tins for longer storage. Always examine each can before opening. If you notice bulging, rust leaking, or dents on the seams, do not take chances, discard it. Sardines are among the most budget-friendly, nutrient-dense foods you can buy. There is no reason to waste them or risk your health because of lax storage. With a bit of attention, every tin stays fresh, safe, and ready to deliver the nutrition you're expecting. Mistake 8. Leaving opened cans too long. A sealed tin of sardines will wait patiently on your pantry shelf, but the moment you lift the lid, the clock starts ticking. Exposure to air accelerates deterioration. The delicate oils in the fish begin to oxidize, which dulls flavor and steadily degrades valuable omega-3 fats, the very nutrients many people buy sardines for in the first place. The longer an open portion sits, the less you get in both taste and nutrition. How quickly quality drops depends on the packing medium. Sardines packed in water lose freshness fastest, typically within about 24 hours. Those packed in oil hold up a bit better, usually 2 to 3 days in the refrigerator. If they're packed in tomato sauce, you may have up to 4 days before the flavor turns and the texture declines. There's one non-negotiable guideline. After a week, regardless of how they were packed, consider them spoiled and unsafe to eat. Another frequent misstep is leaving leftovers in the original can. Once opened, the exposed metal and air can interact in ways that hasten off flavors and oxidation. Food safety guidance is clear. Here, transfer the fish immediately to a clean, airtight glass or food-grade plastic container. Moving them to a sealed container limits oxygen, slows nutrient breakdown, and prevents the metallic aftertaste that can develop in an open tin. Freezing is an option if you need more time, but expect a softer, less appealing texture after thawing. The most practical approach is simple, open only. What you'll finish within a couple of days, refrigerate promptly, and always store leftovers in a proper airtight container. This small habit keeps your sardines safer, fresher, and more nutritious, so every bite tastes the way it should. Mistake 9. Choosing water-packed instead of oil-packed sardines. One of the most common missteps happens before you even open a tin. In the grocery aisle, water-packed may look like the smarter, lighter choice, but it usually loses on both taste and nutrition. Fewer calories do not automatically mean better for you, and in this case, they often come at the expense of quality. Sardines are naturally abundant in healthy fats, especially omega-3s that help calm inflammation, support the heart, and benefit brain function. These fats are better absorbed when eaten with other fats because they are fat-soluble. When sardines are packed in oil, particularly a high-quality oil such as extra virgin olive oil, the fish stay moist, take on savory flavor, and set you up to get more from the omega-3s already present. Water offers none of those advantages. It does not protect or enhance the fish. Over time, water-packed sardines can taste flat dry, or even slightly metallic. That happens because water does not shield the fish's natural oils from oxidation, so the delicate fats can degrade and the overall nutrition suffers. Oil works differently. It creates a protective barrier that slows oxidation and helps preserve both flavor and texture. This is why many enthusiasts find that sardines stored in olive oil actually develop a deeper, rounder taste as they sit. Yes, oil-packed tins contain more calories, but those calories come from beneficial fats, and the payoff is meaningful. Better flavor, better mouthfeel, and better nutrient uptake. If you want the best sardine experience, choose tins packed in high-quality oil rather than water. It is a small decision that leads to a big improvement in enjoyment and nourishment. Mistake 10. Removing the bones. Sardine bones are entirely edible, pleasantly soft, and perfectly safe. The canning process effectively pressure cooks them until they are tender enough to chew without a second thought. Here is the part most people overlook. Those tiny bones are nutritional treasure. Among seafood options, they rank as one of the richest natural sources of calcium. A single serving that includes the bones can deliver more than 1/3 of your daily calcium requirement. That is a major contribution to strong bones, healthy teeth, and smooth muscle function. The advantage does not stop there. Sardines also supply vitamin D, which helps your body absorb and use that calcium efficiently. Together, calcium and vitamin D form a powerful team for skeletal health, and their importance only grows as we get older. Pulling the bones out does not make the fish better. It creates extra work while throwing away nutrients your body needs. In practice, you will not notice the bones. They are so soft that they blend seamlessly with the flesh, and frequent sardine eaters often cannot tell where the meat ends and the bones begin. Yes, some brands sell sardines without bones, but they usually cost more and often arrive in ragged pieces because the deboning process breaks the fillets. That means paying a higher price for less nutrition and a less appealing presentation. The fix is straightforward. Keep the bones. They are safe to eat, highly nutritious, and virtually invisible once you start. Think of them as a built-in bonus that helps make sardines one of the most nutrient-dense foods you can buy. Stay to the end of the video as well, because we will cover who actually needs to be cautious with sardines, which is important information you will not want to miss. Mistake 11. Overcooking them into mush. Sardines are tender by nature, which is exactly why they're so enjoyable. Soft flesh, edible bones, and a pleasant silky bite. Push them over high heat, or keep them on the stove too long though, and their structure collapses into a paste. That doesn't just ruin the texture and flavor, it also harms heat-sensitive nutrients including omega-3 fats and several B vitamins that make sardines so valuable. Here's the smarter approach. Use gentle heat. When adding sardines to pasta rice or a stir-fry, fold them in at the very end. A quick warm through about a minute or two is all it takes to heat them without causing them to disintegrate. You keep the taste, preserve the texture, and protect the nutrition. If you want a touch of crunch, slide them under the broiler on a baking sheet for 2 to 3 minutes to crisp the surface while leaving the inside moist and flavorful. Another simple tactic is to warm the unopened can in a bowl of hot water for a few minutes. This brings the fish up to temperature evenly, without exposing them to direct damaging heat. Remember, canned sardines are ready to eat straight out of the tin. Cooking should enhance, not undo, what's already good. Handle them with care, and you'll be surprised by how much better they taste and how much more nutrition you keep. Sardines rank among the most overlooked superfoods, and they truly shine when you handle them correctly. From selecting the right tin to storing, pairing, and preparing them with care, small choices determine whether you end up with a forgettable meal or a concentrated dose of nourishment. Do not let simple missteps keep you from everything sardines can offer. Rich in protein, omega-3 fats, calcium, and key vitamins, they can support the heart, brain, and bones while remaining one of the most budget-friendly foods available. You now have the playbook to unlock their full benefits and sidestep the common pitfalls that catch many people off guard. If this guide helped, tap like and subscribe so you will not miss upcoming tips on smarter, healthier eating. Do you keep sardines in your rotation, or do you have a go-to way to serve them? Share your ideas in the comments. We would love to hear from you. Thank you for watching and for being part of this community. If you are ready to keep learning, 2 more videos are queued up for you. Choose one and continue the journey.